Year. It's so great to see everybody's beautiful faces and smiles. I was trying to wait for my husband to get here, but he's a little late. His son came in today, so he's like grinning from ear to ear, and they just talk. So he'll be here later on today. That's Lanny. So we got a great band ahead of us, okay? A great singer, and it's nice to start off the year with beautiful songs and love songs. And I'm going to read from Philippians chapter 3, verses 13, 14. I have to take my glasses off. I'm getting there. Okay. No, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it, but I focus on this one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us. May God add a blessing to the reading. In other words, don't stay in 2019, y'all. Move ahead to 2020. And I would like to introduce to you Miss Barbara Nathanson, who will introduce to you the artist of the evening.
Well, as y'all know, I find a lot of artists that I'm associated with through Los Angeles Art Association. This is another one of them. And it just seems like there's a wealth of talent in this city that just never ends. And I'm fortunate enough to get a real rare talent tonight. A gentleman that I've introduced to you several artists that went to this big exhibition in Tokyo in the previous months, and here's another one that went to Tokyo and actually got quite an award for what he brought. He has a special eye when it comes to photography. He has his own brand of vision that he brings, and I'm going to let him explain it all to you. He has won many awards. He's been sought after in a lot of shows, and I think you're going to be delighted with chatting with him. He's a delightful man. Carl Shubs.
Thank you, Barbara. Can you all hear me okay? Okay, great. So I was born in a small town 100 years ago. No. I'm a psychoanalytic psychologist and also a contemporary fine art photographer. And people often ask, how do those two come together in my work? And that's been a struggle for me to try to answer that question. But I do have some answers that I've been able to figure out over time. So far, the best way that I can explain it is as a psychoanalytic, try to get my mouth to talk, as a psychoanalytic psychologist, my goal is to get below the surface, to not just live in the superficial with people and to let them live in their superficial parts of themselves, but to get to the deeper roots of who they are and what motivates them to do the things they do and what are the obstacles, the inner obstacles that get in the way of them having the life that they want for themselves. And it's that same sense or that same focus of getting below the surface that is a thread throughout my work, I finally discovered. The work is rooted in what's called street photography, which is the capturing of spontaneous moments. And that's a term from one of the famous photographers, Bresson. And it's capturing that spontaneous moment that kind of tells the story, but it captures the unusual interaction. It's not just a snapshot that we can take out with our point-and-shoot camera and say, oh, there it is. But it takes an eye to know when to see it and to know when you've got it, and to be able to then capture it. And so it's all about the candid moments. They're not set up, they're not prearranged, they're not posed. They're just what happens as you go out in the world, which is what 99% of my work is. It's what I see as I go out in the world. They're not studio setups. It's just what's there. And sometimes there's not a whole lot that's interesting that I see there, which gets me looking to, okay, so what else is going on here that is interesting to me? And it's kind of amazing I don't get into more traffic accidents as I'm looking around to see what's interesting. And one of the ones in particular that I have here tonight, it kind of comes from one of those series. There's one out in the hallway. It's the first one as you come in. It's a pink wall with women standing in front of it and shadows behind them. And that's a part of that series that's called modeling. And that's characteristic of street photography. That wasn't set up. They were just out there doing that thing. And I was fortunate enough to be there when they were doing that, and there were a bunch of them doing that throughout the afternoon, and so I caught a number of them. That's the essence of street photography. The rest is just, so what do I see as I look around? And sometimes it's looking at the small minutiae of things. There's one series that I have that's called Overlooked, and some of these might fit into that or would fit into that. And they're things that we overlook in the normal course of our day. And it might be something about the way someone's hands are positioned. And so I just focus in on the hands. There's one that's on the table out there. That's a part of a subset of that series. That series is called Overlooked. And the subset of that series is called Overlooked in the Gallery, which is things that I find interesting and worthy as being subjects of art that are in art galleries, but they're not up on the walls where the so-called art is. They're maybe right next to it. And the one that's on the table is called Light Switches and Arrows, because that's what it is. It's a photograph of the light switches and arrows in a local gallery that I found interesting, and often more interesting than what I saw on the walls. And that was that one got me accepted into a wonderful international competition. One of 100 out of about 1,300 or something like that. All photographers, and I was delighted that someone could see what I saw in that. And so there's some of that quality in the other ones that I have here. The reason I brought these two up here are because they're the ones, as I was standing out there, that people were asking me the most questions about. So let me talk about them. This one over here would fit in that overlooked category. And I was just driving down the street one day in West Hollywood, and I saw this thing where there were a number of posters that were put up on a construction wall. And some of the posters were torn off, some posters were posted over another one, some were painted over, and they just looked like abstract art to me. And that's what I captured them as, not to document them, because I don't do documentary photography, but I'm a fine art photographer, and that's the focus of it. So this is all of the ones that you see here are what came out of the camera. They're not photo manipulated through Photoshop or anything like that. This is just what was there. The one next to it is a part of a larger photo. I took off one panel of it because it didn't fit with what I wanted to do with this. So the content of this is exactly what came out of the camera. The color I played with a little bit to make it work better together. The larger photo is called Downtown LA, and this could also be a piece of downtown LA. And by the way, there's one of the business cards out there has the full photo in it. And apart from the color, the content of this is exactly what you see when you stand in one place in downtown Los Angeles, as here in this case, 3, in that case 4 separate buildings lined up to make this image. Thank you. Yeah, enjoy. I'll be outside. If you have any questions, please ask. And there's a sign-up list for a mailing list if you want to stay connected with what's going on.
And as the band comes and set up, I'm going to talk to you. Doesn't it make you want to look at things closer? I mean, look at these pictures. Well, you have to go outside and look at them now. But little things are important. A smile, or maybe a glance, a raise of the eyebrow. Actors look at this all the time. And painters, they sit in chairs and just watch you walk by and be normal. But you're not normal to them because they see every little thing that you do. And that's the kind of art that he does. Now, we have Miss Cheryl Barnes, who is a fabulous singer, coming to join us in a beautiful outfit. And she is going to sing us some standards and maybe one or two of her own if she feels like it. Cheryl, you go on and talk and tell them a little bit about yourself, okay? And you should know everybody else up here. They done been here a couple of times, especially Liz. She's up there checking out her piano.
Liz Kennedy. Jeff Takaguchi. Paul Krybeck. Well, good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for being here, and thank you very much for the invitation for me to be here. And I loved your opening remarks because we are right on point. We are together. The songs that I chose for today are all about leaving 2019 or whatever year and just continuing to move forward with hope, love, optimism, positive thinking and feeling in spite of whatever may be going on deeply inside, because we're all here right now, and so it appears that there's something good going on. So we've chosen songs, I've chosen some songs that I hope will just kind of move you along and have a great time, because that's exactly why I'm here. If you open up the windows, if you open up the doors, you will see, love in all its shining glory, telling you a glory story, telling you and telling me. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's kind of hard to breathe when you've got no living room. Your heart is sure to grieve when you're living in the gloom. So make yourself some space if you want to run the race. If you want to run the race. But love is hard to beat when you've got some living room. Oh, it's so sweet when you give yourself some room to you're going to run the race. 'Cause if you open up the windows, if you open up the doors, you will see love in all its shining glory, telling you a glory story, telling you and telling me. 'Cause the boogeyman's gonna run if you've got some living room, 'cause he don't like the sun when it's shining through the gloom. So let's live life today in a room where love can play, in a room where love can play. The sun when it's shining through the gloom. So let's live life today in a room where love can play, in a room where love can play. Thank you. Yeah, that was a song that was written by the great Abby Lincoln many years ago, and I just have always been inspired by it because it is just, just open your mind, open your heart, and that's where we're going with all of this. This next song that we're going to do is called Sales, not S-A-L-E-S, though I'm still sort of stuck on that, but S-A-I-L-S. And in Portuguese, it's called Velas, and it was written by Ivan Lins. And it's a beautiful song that just takes us to the beach. We're just sitting watching the seagulls fly by, the beautiful blue skies, the clouds, the water, the kids, the whole 9 yards. It was written in Brazil about the Brazilian beaches, but we have some places that can compete as well. So let's go on a little ride. Velas. Seu coração em barcos de velas e sarais, longe dos mares do tempo, das loucas marés. Seu coração em barco de velas e sarais. c'était si que rêve. Seu coração é barco jamais navegado. Nunca mostrou você dentro, abrindo os porões. Seu coração é barco que vive ancorado. Lugar escuro, céu ao vento, as grandes paixões. Nunca sou tuas amadas, nunca fico a derivar. Nunca sou tuas amadas. E aventuras. Das embarcações, velas, 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 velas. Well, you all sound so good. You know, that's one of the joys and the privileges and treats of being a vocalist in Los Angeles, and I imagine in other big cities too, but there are some of the greatest musicians here, and I am so honored to be able to sing with these great people. It's wonderful. We don't get to do it as often as we'd like. I usually sing with my wonderful husband, who's a great pianist and a wonderful physician. Thank goodness he kept his day job. And Dr. Philip Cabasso, he's here. But I'm so thrilled to be able to sing with Liz tonight, and with Paul, whom I've both known very long, and with Jeff tonight. This is just great. So thank you so much for letting me be here. I am here to serve. Walking in these doors is just like you feel embraced, you know? Yeah, so. Well, let's get further embraced with a song from the Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, okay? All right. Come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look and see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin in a world of my creation. What we'll find will defy explanation. Simply turn around and view it. All you want to do, just do it. You can have the world, there's nothing to it. There's no life I know like a world of pure imagination. You'll be free, you will see, if you truly want to be. Like a world of pure imagination, you'll be free, you will see, if you truly want to be. But that I often say that no so-called jazz performance would be complete without something from Duke Ellington. So I think we should get on the A train, okay? Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, we're going to do the A train since I introduced it, and then we'll do the other one that I skipped over entirely. Anyway, so let's get on that one. Take the A train to get to Sugar Hill way up in Harlem. Oh, you must take the A train to get to Sugar Hill in Harlem. Hurry, 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 get on board that train. You know you don't
the rain. You need to get on the A train so you can get there. You know you want to get there in Harlem. Better hurry, 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 get on board that train. You know you don't want to miss, no, don't want to miss it. The snow, the sleet, the hail, or the rain. You must take the A train to get to Sugar Hill in Harlem. Now, you're gonna take the A train. You know it takes you up the road, it takes you down the road, it takes you all around, takes you to the music, to the sound. Oh, way up in Harlem. Ah, yeah, hurry, 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 get on that train. You know you don't want to miss it. I don't care about the snow, the sleet, the hail, or the rain. To Sugar Hill in Harlem, to get to Sugar Hill in Harlem. Thank you. That was a circuitous little ride. That was Paul Krybeck. You finally got to hear him do a little solo. All right, so McCoy Tyner wrote this next song, and I believe that I don't know who the first person was to record it, but I heard Diane Reeves' version of it, and we're going to do the ballad version today. But I also have rearranged it into a very, very fast song. And because the words are so joyous, they can be applied to a lover, a child, a brother, a sister, anyone who's mentored you, who's brought something beautiful and positive into your life, or with whom you've shared that sort of thing. And this is one song that I enjoy so dearly to share with you. We meet and it begins. The sound of violins, the sound of birds high on the wing. You taught my heart to sing. Why does this heart of mine feel like a Valentine? You smile and suddenly it's spring. sing. My heart was an empty shell. Then you came along. Now my heart's a carousel. Filled with song. The miracle of you will last my lifetime through. You're all I'll keep remembering. You taught my heart to sing. My heart was an empty shell. Then you came along. Now my heart's a carousel. Filled with song. The miracle of you will last my whole life through. You're all I'll keep remembering. You taught, oh, you taught my heart to sing. Thank you. Thank you. Well, since I changed the order of songs, I guess we'll just go ahead and continue in the order that we're supposed to continue in. I won't start changing everything. You know how you do that, and the next thing you know, you're lost. So I think I'll stick with the program now. This next song is one that I am very happy to be able to sing because I was invited by the wonderful, perhaps some of you know, Barbara Morrison, to do a program a few years ago on the great Ethel Waters. And this is a song that she made very famous, but it is certainly a very traditional and beautiful song with which I'm sure many of you are familiar, and one that I love and enjoy to share with you very much. His eye is on the sparrow. should I be discouraged? Why should the shadows come? Why should my heart be lonely, longing for heaven and home? For Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. Whenever I am tempted, when lonely clouds arise, when songs give way to sadness, when hope within me dies, then Jesus is my portion, my constant friend is He. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. I sing because I'm happy, I'm really happy. I sing because I'm free. His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches me. For His eye is on the sparrow, and I know He watches you and me. I mean, I need a lot of guidance, support, I think emotional and that sort of thing because of the times that we're living in. And it kind of grounds me when I realize that this is history repeating itself, and it's been going on like this in different iterations for as long as mankind has existed. And so there has to be something that keeps us all together, and we're still moving forward, through the generations in whatever is going on in the outside world swirling around us. So it's so gratifying to be able to find songs and music of any type, but lyrics, of course, to carry us or carry me forward and hopefully bringing you along and enjoying the beauty of music. It's so healing and powerful, just like visual art is, and just like looking in each other's eyeballs and saying hello, this indeed. This next song is one that I'm sure you'll all be very familiar with, that Liz and I came up with a nice idea for a very fun version. And so let's just move right on with it. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and those dreams that you dare to dream will all come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you will find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly. Well, if those birds can fly over the rainbow, I want to know why can't I? Someday I'll look up on a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you will find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh why, oh why, oh why? I want to know why I can't fly. I need to fly, I've got to fly. I know I want to go, gotta fly, gotta fly, gotta fly, gotta fly, gotta fly over. Gotta get over the rainbow, over the rainbow. Why, oh why can't I fly, please? All right. So we all love Louis Armstrong. He has given the world, he gave the world so very much, from A to Z, from his personality to all the wonderful music that he did. He was such an ambassador of love and music in the world. This is our second to the last number, and I'm certainly happy to share this with you. Let's see, and let's do this. I see them all blooming for me and you, and I think to myself, oh, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white. Oh, the bright blessed day and the lovely night. I'm thinking to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, the colors of the rainbow pretty in the sky, of all the people's faces passing by. I see friends greeting friends, saying how do you do. Oh, that's really how they're saying I love you. I hear a baby cry and watch it grow. Well, it's gonna learn more than we'll ever know. I think to myself, there's a chance this is gonna still be a wonderful, wonderful world. Oh, oh. Go ahead, Jeff.
a lovely night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful, wonderful world. Oh, the colors of the rainbow pretty in the sky, all the faces of the people going by. I see friends greeting friends, saying, how do you do? Well, I really want to say I love you. Babies cry, then they grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, what a wonderful, what a wonderful world. What a Thank you. Well, wow. I hope you're recording this, honey. Well, I would like to close with a song that is a very popular blues tune, and some of the lyrics which I have changed to just spread a little more love, if I can, in the world. And it's a very traditional old killer tune, and so let's just move on with it. I thank you so very much for inviting me to be here today and to allow me to share the gift that I was given. And I'm very happy my cousin-in-law, my husband's first cousin, is here from Paris, and so she's still jet lagging, but she's awake right now. So, and I thank you so very much, Lanny and Yvette. I am so grateful. Thank you. All right, well, let's get on out of here with a story we have to tell. One more time. Well, heaven sent to all mankind understanding and peace of mind. So if it's not asking too much, please teach this world how to love. Won't you teach the world how to get along, so love can enter and hate can be gone? Not asking too much, please teach the world how to love. Well, I look at the world and all of its troubles. Oh, and sadly I see it's the same. Well, if man don't put an end to this horrible sin, well, hate's gonna put this world in a flame. Oh, what a shame. Now, teach the world how to get along, so love can enter and we can sing a similar song. If it's not asking too much, please teach this world how to love, 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 love. Where if love don't put an end to this horrible sin, well, hate's gonna put the world in a flame. What a shame now. Teach this world to get along. 'Cause love means that we sing a similar song. If it's not asking too much, please teach the world how to love. Preach, teach the world to love you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Jeff. Yes, teach the world to love. Woo. Amen. Amen. Did you have a wonderful holiday? I had a great one. You know, we always look forward to this time of the year, you know? In fact, I think people are friendlier. You know, they give a little bit more love this time of year. I don't know, maybe it's the dressings of, you know, the little bulbs and the little trees, the little lights, but somehow we are friendlier. But isn't it amazing how 2019 just kind of went by so fast? Did you notice that? My husband and I, we stayed home on New Year's Eve, and I pulled out these glasses, these wine glasses that we had in 2000. I held them for 20 years. We toasted. 20 years I had these glasses in my 20 years, and it went by so fast. Well, I'm not drinking anymore, so that's the difference. We had ginger ale. What can I say? 20 years makes a big difference. But do you feel like the time has just like sped up? Is it a sign of global warming, or that's the way it's always been and we're just noticing it because we're getting older and we have less days ahead of us than behind us? You think that is it? I don't know. Did you make any resolutions this year? Anybody? One person. Okay, two people. All right. Did you do anything traditional? You know, like throw out a pan of water out your door on New Year's Eve. I mean, that's throwing out all the bad luck. Or maybe have a male, this used to be a good one, step over your threshold. You know, the first person to step over in the new year, that brings you good luck for the whole year. No? Okay. All right. How about, did you eat something very traditional for the new year? Okay, you did, okay? I bet you had the same thing I had. Did you have black-eyed peas? Mm-hmm. Black-eyed peas mean that you're gonna have change in your pockets. A lot of pennies, okay? Did you have collard greens? Yes, you did. That means you're gonna have dollars in your pocket. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Did you have pork or some kind of meat or some kind of pot-filling meat? Yes? Mm-hmm. That means your pot will be full. These are black traditional things. Let me tell you something. I had forgotten all about it. And my girlfriend, she said, well, what you fixing for New Year's Day? I said, I think I'm gonna fix some spaghetti. She said, you're gonna have strings the rest of the year. And I thought about it, And I said, "Oh, Lord, let me go out here and get them black-eyed peas." Didn't I, Lanny? I ran out and got my black-eyed peas and my collard greens and my macaroni and cheese. Could you tell me what that means? I don't know what it means either. But let me tell you, I got a great recipe if you want it. You know, how could I have forgotten? Well, of course, I got to work and I did all that, and we filled our bellies with a dessert. And so that New Year's Day, we were stuffed. We were full. And that meant that the rest of the year is going to be just like that. No, it doesn't really mean that, does it? Because some years are really rough. And you don't know that from the first day. And all these traditions and all these things, now, I didn't want to mess with it. But sometimes they don't work. But you have to make up your mind about what works and what doesn't. And I've learned something in living all these New Years, that no matter what traditions you follow, life is precious and it is fragile. A day should never go by without acknowledging the gift of that day. You be blind to it, and yes, it will just disappear, and you will not see that day. That's why the days go by so fast sometimes, because you were so busy doing little things, and you're not embracing the day, embracing the sunlight, embracing the trees, embracing the babies. Babies, I love babies. I do. I love any kind of baby. I'm just like my mother now. You know, they say you turn into your mother. I've turned into my mother. If I see a baby pulling, in the shopping store, I go, "How you doing?" I can't help myself. You know why? Because babies, they make you smile. They're innocent. They haven't been jaded by living so many days that have made them unhappy. Guess what? You don't have to be unhappy either. God gave us free will. We can choose to be happy. Isn't that something? Yep, choose to be loving. Choose to be nice. We have the choice to make our lives what we want them to be. We do. And you say, well, what about the homeless that have pitched their tents down the street and parked their RVs forever on your street? Or what about us almost being at war? Or what about the earthquake that might happen to us? Well, let me tell you something. Right now, right this very moment, you're sitting beside a friend, and you've just listened to some wonderful music by Cheryl and her band. Grateful, wonderful music. And it was like we had called each other talking, Cheryl, because the songs that you picked were all uplifting songs. So be grateful for this moment in time. And if you can keep adding a little bit more grateful every day, every day, it will make this year longer and more loving. So be thankful and grateful. I'd like to read you a poem that Kay McGregor, she's a member of this church, she sent it out. And it's called Special Gifts at Christmas, New Year's, and the whole year through. They're not the ones that you can touch or see, not wrapped in tissue gay, but gifts to bless you every day. The gift of friendship, warm and true, is one I would leave for you. Good health, happiness, and cheer to keep you smiling through the year. The gift of peace that comes from God, and a prayer to guide each path you trod. And when your heart has lost its song, I'd give you the gift of hope to cheer you on. In this ever-changing world, may the meaning of Christmas be deeper, friendships stronger, hopes brighter, and the opportunity of the new year bring challenges you'll surmount and blessings to fill your heart. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you. And I want to thank all of you for coming out. Thank you. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so very much for your music. Thank you. I've seen you here how many times, Mr. Krippich? Thousands and thousands of times. Krippich. I didn't say his last name right. And I want to thank all of you for coming. Now, we have this little box back there. It's an offering box. We only make it by you giving to us. That's the only way we make it. So, and tell your friends to come out. And I've been trying to advertise, so you advertise for me. So send the things out. But before we go, I want to thank all these people. Dusty for video, Adrian for sound, Teresa Prim for photography, Barbara and Weston Nathanson for the art, and our artist, Carl. Please spend some time out there and look at those pictures. He shocked me. I mean, they were just normal things that you see, but yet he really saw them. And you, with his art, can really see them. Thank you very much for that. And we have on, who else did I forget? I got Larry Flaherty, Barbara Stiles. She's the helper to Dusty. How you doing, Barbara? Reverend Choi. And there's a new one. Russ, where are you? Okay, he's helping us all too. And I just want to thank Lanny Hartley for starting this. You know, this has been going on for 20 years at this church. You know, let's keep it going, hopefully. So on our last page, our second page, we have, could we all stand and say the benediction? And February, Liz Cannon, piano player, she will be here with her trio. This lady right here. Sherwood Sledge. Well, but still, you're going to be playing with your trio, right? Sherwood, you remember Sherwood? Jazz, blues. He's one of the old, okay, he's going to be here February the 9th. Okay, so right on this page, and we can just say, may the Lord watch between you and me while we're absent one from another. God bless all of y'all. Thank you.